Which way? Part 4. How does God present his options to me for life on this earth? As we should know, we serve a loving God whose desire is to save us. Consequently, he presents the two life options that mankind has in the most loving way he can. Through Moses, in Deuteronomy 30:19, he says, I have set before you life and death, blessing and cursing. Therefore, choose life, that both thou and thy seed may live. God repeats the two options that he has set before all men, and then he goes on to tell us which one to choose. Notice, he does not force us to make the right choice, but urges us in love to make it. One would think that there should be no doubt or hesitation there. The choice between life or death, blessings or cursings, should be very easy and obvious. But dear friends, because so many people, even Christians and churchgoers, don't read and study the Bible for themselves, they're not even aware that there are only two life options set before all mankind. But for those who do read and study for themselves, then the question is asked, how does God clarify these options for me? The answer, like so many other answers in the Bible, is clear, simple, and straightforward. Speaking again through Moses in Deuteronomy chapter 11, verses 26 through 28, God says, I set before you this day a blessing and a curse. Here, for emphasis, he repeats the two options, a curse and a blessing. But then he goes on to explain further. A blessing if ye obey the commandments of the Lord your God, which I command you this day, and a curse if you will not obey the commandments of the Lord your God, but turn aside out of the way which I command you this day. So now, God has made it clear that the way of life which brings a blessing in its train is obedience to the commandments of God. This surely represents a problem for both those who teach and those who believe that the commandments of God are no longer valid, but were made for the Jews in the Old Testament or were nailed to the cross when Jesus died. If either of those arguments were true, then why would Jesus say in John 14 and verse 15, if you love me, keep my commandments? Definitely something to think about. Visit blessingsanew.com and watch the great controversy video series. May the Lord be praised.